Marcel, where are you going with that disc? You are not putting that on again. Marcel, okay, if you press that button, you are in very, very big trouble.
Attention. Everybody stop what you're doing. It's time for The Unwritten Rule, a Mizzou sports podcast brought to you by the Believe Network, alongside Payton Haverman and Kenny Van Doren. Here is your host, Jack Knowlton.
Welcome back to The Unwritten Rule. Today is Friday, September 6th, and Mizzou is on to week 2. They're facing the Buffalo Bulls at home. Thankfully, we're not at UMass week quite yet, and they don't have to go to Buffalo. The mighty. Oh, I wish I remembered their stadium. That's bad of me for not remembering their stadium, because I'm going to rip this Band-Aid off right away. I know this Buffalo team pretty well because I do a shared college football dynasty with the two gentlemen who joined me on this podcast, Payton and Kenny, as well as some other friends of ours. And I am the Buffalo Bulls in said dynasty. Oh, it's just UB Stadium. Okay, well, I don't feel bad about not remembering that. But yeah, anyway, we'll get to some specifics on the Bulls. But how excited, Payton and Kenny, are you guys? Week 2 up for Mizzou. They did sell the game out, so no controversy to talk about there. But another, hopefully, cruise to victory, we would think, for the Tigers on Saturday.
Yeah, this should be another easy one. Buffalo has not been like a dreadful MAC team lately, but they've been very middling, very middle of the road. They haven't been consistent MAC contenders or anything that over the years. Should be another game that's a relative, it's just ironing the kinks out, because all of a sudden the Boston College game no longer looks like such an afterthought either. So definitely good Mizzou gets one more contest to kind of iron out the kinks. I just mostly go into this game hoping the defense cannot, obviously, I wouldn't be mad if they gave up over 100 yards this week. But I really would like to see Cook and the receivers, just the passing game, look a little more in rhythm this week. It just felt a little disjointed, just with the missed deep balls and everything. So hopefully Cook can hit one or two of those. The pass game just stays in sync. And it's another easy Mizzou win.
Yeah, it's just kind of like last season, too, with that 2023 schedule. You start off with a smaller end team like South Dakota, and this year you had Murray State. And we talked about, under Drinkwitz, they haven't really blown out that first game of the season. The last 2 years now, it's been an FCS school, and that was their opportunity, and they did that. I mean, Payton was a big proponent of that, of never letting off the gas, just blow them out, get the game done, get everyone a chance, score a lot of points. And then you kind of look back to last season, that week 2 game. You get a group of 5 team in Columbia, and you win 23-19. I'm not going to say that that's, even going to be close to what this Buffalo score is, but it's just another game that you just want to keep building off of it. You want to go 1-0 each week, and you just want to thump them. I mean, that's, it's plain and simple. You want to blow them out, and that you just want to keep building off of it. Because, that, like Payton said, the Boston College game is now looking, a lot more like a game. So you just want to keep building off that. You don't want anything to be close.
Yeah, I'm glad we hinted at that. I mean, we'll talk about them more. Boston College look good. That running quarterback they've got, what's his last name?
Thomas Castellanos.
He looks good. He looks a little bit scary. But so yeah, they'll have to keep their wits about him for that. Yeah, I'm not too worried. I would like to see the defense maybe pitch a shutout, even if it is. I guess Payton wants to look. You said you're looking for more offensive consistency, but it would be kind of fun to hear for this defense in particular, something that I think has been scrutinized. They could hold a shutout in their first 2 games. I think that would make a little bit of a statement, as much as you can against Murray State and Buffalo. Yeah, the Bulls, they beat Lafayette 30-13 in their first game. Lafayette Leopards. It is pretty funny playing with this team on College Football 25 and then scrolling through their stats in real life. I'll let you guys go if you have any highlights in Buffalo. I know Kenny took a look at their PFF. Their quarterback's a senior. His name's CJ Ogbonna. He is from Atlanta, I believe. Their running back last game had 99 yards and a touchdown, so decent game for him. His name is Jaquez Barksdale. He's really bad in the game. I think I averaged about 2.5 yards a carry with him. So maybe it's probably I'm really bad at the game. But they have a receiver named Nick McMillan who's pretty good, and a tight end named Jake Orlando, which sounds like a Disney Channel character. That's my scouting report. And then a guy on defense, linebacker by the name of Sean Dolach, is one to watch. He is somebody that I think Payton will get mad at when he gets like a TFL on Nate Noel. That's my prediction.
Wow, two tackles per loss last week. On Ogbonna, and this was something that Eli Hoff from the Post-Dispatch pointed out earlier this week too, but I had noticed it before. Ogbonna has actually started against Mizzou before. I believe it was his first year in college that he started a game. He was at SEMO, CJ Ogbonna, and he started for SEMO in that 2021 game against Mizzou. You can see it there if you're watching on the YouTube. He only completed 50% of his passes that year for 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 8 picks, and that was by far his most playing time he's gotten in a season. So, again, Buffalo is working with a largely for the last 3 years inexperienced QB that has kind of not really showed a lot. He was very middling against a FCS Lafayette team. So again, I think there's a good chance for the defense to be very good here. And you can see in 2021, Ogbonna against Mizzou went 7 for 14 with 53 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick. So will he improve upon that line? Probably. It was a 59-28 Mizzou win, by the way. That's right. They gave up 58 to 28 to SEMO.
Tough beat.
21 points in the fourth quarter, though. That's something I'll always remember about that game.
Yeah.
Michael Cox territory.
Look at those numbers from Mizzou. Oh my gosh! All right, Kenny.
Yeah, 1 second. I was just looking back at that roster and seeing Connor Bazelak there. We'll get to this later. I was talking to a group of college students today in a class at Colorado, and they asked me, "Were you at school when Drew Lock was there?" And I was like, "Are you serious?" Like, I just felt like I know it was only a year off, but man, I didn't think I was that old. I was like, "Do you guys know who? I mean, Connor Bazelak is?"
Yeah.
They absolutely did not.
No, they didn't.
Yeah. It is tough. It is weird to think it does. Drew Lock does feel like a long time ago, and yeah, we were only off by a year on him. But yeah, you're old, Kenny.
Yeah,
you're old.
Yeah, we're both old, or all three of us are old. I guess Jack is a little bit less old. Just a couple things too. Just want to look at the PFF grades. The one thing that really jumped out to me. We'll get to PFF a little bit later as well. The offensive line just kind of middling, just in those yellow squares, 60 and below on some of these, pass block and just blocking grades in general. So maybe just something to keep an eye on. Maybe something a little bit exciting to see for this defensive line. See how that kind of just matches up against Mizzou. They did, favor, two running backs to get 14 carries, and Aljay Henderson was the second one. Didn't average as much, but just another guy to look for on the field, in the backfield.
What about the defense? Can you look up Dolach's PFF numbers? He's the linebacker that I think he's the one to watch. Oh yeah, there you go. Right at the top of PFF. 85 defensive grade. This guy's a stud. Maybe Mizzou goes after him in the I don't know what year he is. Maybe Mizzou goes after him in the transfer portal when he's all MAC. All MAC
would not be the first time Mizzou has gotten a Buffalo transfer, and that might be a good pivot point. But
yeah, we'll talk about
I do also, just one more thing I kind of look for out of this game. Get Luther Burden some statistics, please. I don't care how we do it, and I know they kind of tried it last week with that awful trick play that Luther Burden was kind of the reason it messed up. But I don't know if everyone saw what McMillan did for Arizona last week. We got some ground to make up in the Biletnikoff race. So hopefully Luther's able to kind of he had that touchdown on the first drive, then kind of just was quiet the rest of the way. So I'd like to see him be able to really feast this week.
Yeah, that was scary what McMillan did. A lot of yards against the New Mexico State. And I think, Payton, you talked about this last time we brought this up. It was all necessary too, because Arizona was struggling against a 0-1 New Mexico State or New Mexico team.
Yeah.
In their first game. And he couldn't come out, and they just had to keep force feeding him. So
it wasn't stat padding even for him.
Quick Buffalo quiz. Can you name one other former player from Buffalo.
Khalil
Not named
Mack.
Mack.
Jarrett Patterson.
Bensi Polgar.
That
Which,
shouldn't-
this is actually a good thing I want to throw out there real quick. Did you guys know Bensi Polgar retired from football after the bowl game this past year? He still had
figured
another
he
year of
was out
eligibility. His last year would have been 2024. But he retired.
Wow, I did not know that. No, but
There you go.
there was no path to playing time for him, really. So
Yeah.
makes sense.
Well, yeah, I can't think of anyone besides Khalil Mack. But speaking of former Buffalo players, one of them is going to probably get a lot of run. Unfortunately, not for him, but for the sake of Mizzou not having this guy, because the Tigers are going to be without the Fleet for week 2. Brett Norfleet, per Pete Thamel, Missouri will be without star sophomore tight end Brett Norfleet against Buffalo on Saturday. He suffered a shoulder injury against Murray State, which is not a long-term injury. He's considered week to week. Norfleet was an all-SEC freshman in 2023. I don't know what the point of watching a game is without the Fleet. I'm very saddened by this, but I'm glad he's going to be okay. But people might not know where I'm mentioning the former Buffalo player. It's Tyler Stevens' time, the transfer backup tight end. Been getting a lot of run because Norfleet's been injured in spring camp or in fall camp, right? So what do you guys think of the tight end conundrum? It's revenge game season.
It's really not a huge deal. Kind of a teaching moment for Brett Norfleet because the play he got hurt on was a play where he lowered his shoulder on a DB that was already going low on him, and it didn't even work out. So hopefully in the future he knows, like, okay, maybe I can just tank a hit from that guy or maybe even hurdle him. He has the athleticism to hurdle.
That.
We've seen it. So don't really want to see him laying the shoulder too much. I think Gabe DeArmond said it was like a stinger or something like that. Nothing too major. Drinkwitz wasn't too concerned either. I bet if this was like a bigger game, they might let Norfleet give it a go. But quite frankly, Buffalo is a time where you can probably afford to not have Brett Norfleet. Tyler Stevens, he's been in the room 3 years now. He knows what he's doing. He's not gonna light the world on fire, but he's capable enough to give you a couple decent plays. He can be a factor in the run blocking game. So really shouldn't feel Norfleet's absence too much in this game.
Yeah, I wonder how many people do remember he had a touchdown in that Georgia game in 2022. With
I remember it was one-handed.
It was his only Mizzou catch so far this year. He has 2 receptions for 17 yards in week 1. The last 2 seasons, though, he's had 5 receptions in both years. So this is kind of maybe a game for him where he can kind of push that total. We'll see how that goes. Something else that also stood out about Tyler Stevens, just looking at his page, he still has another year of eligibility next year. Necessarily, I don't know if that's going to be at Mizzou, because another guy we could talk about is Jordan Harris, who did face a couple of injuries, or did face an injury leading up to the start of the season. But the coaches have talked well about him in the blocking game. So another guy that could probably step up in this game if he's fully ready to go.
I like it. Yeah, wow, it's crazy. He has another year of eligibility left.
Also that defensive player you were talking about for Buffalo, Sean Dolak, it does not look like he has another year of eligibility according to his Buffalo page.
Bummer, missing out. Mac defensive player of the year. That's my pick. Big Sean Dolak guy. I don't know if that's how you say his name, but that's how I'm choosing to say his name. We'll find out during the broadcast, I guess. Yeah, all right. So yeah, I think I agree with you guys. I think Mizzou will be fine. And we do love a revenge game angle. We are fans of that on the Unwritten Rule. So we were tweeting the Tyler Stevens, just the mug of him from the roster page. It wasn't even an action shot, which I appreciated.
I thought it would be easier to go with the mug just because it's harder to identify a player with a helmet on, especially in a different uniform. So I didn't think anyone would recognize.
It says a lot about Tyler Stevens.
He's had his moments. He had his touchdown. Another thing I just want to throw out there. I mentioned this earlier about, just going and just beating up a group of 5 team in week 2. And, I think probably some people out there, some analysts, and at the end of the day, the opinions of them and us probably don't matter too much. But even guys like Tom Fornelli and Brendan Walker, who, people might know out there, Tom Fornelli, who's at, I believe, CBS, and then Brandon Walker, who's been around and he's at Barstool now. They even mentioned on a podcast, they were like looking at last year and they were just like, not really high on Mizzou. They barely beat Mississippi State. They barely beat Kansas State, which I did not agree with on that take. But just looking at it,
Middle Tennessee, right?
Middle Tennessee, sorry. Yeah, beating Middle Tennessee last season. So it's just one of those things, make a statement, something to prove, one of those things. You just want to go out there and just, thump them, like I said.
One last thing for me on Buffalo, their head coach, they're led by a first-year head coach, actually. Pete Lembo. Knowlton actually has something on this. Okay, go ahead.
No,
I
I was joking that it was me because I did him in the game. Sorry.
Of course. Sorry. Okay, my bad. I didn't make the connection there because I'm not very smart. But Pete Lembo, fun fact about him, last year he was South Carolina's special teams coach. So maybe a mismatch there. Buffalo getting the special teams coach for one of the better special teams in the nation the last few years under Beamer, Shane Beamer, Beamer Ball. Don't ask him about hot dog chain gangs and whatnot. But yeah, so maybe Pete Lembo can jazz up the special teams a bit. I can't focus because Kenny's zooming in on this photo of Shane Beamer on the YouTube. Look out for a special teams mismatch, though. Also, Pete Lembo was the head coach at Elon from 2006 to 2007 or to 2010. So I have actually seen.
Whoa!
Triggered something.
Yeah, whoa. Okay, keep talking.
Yeah, Pete Lembo. This is his fourth head coaching job. He's coached at Lehigh, Elon, Ball State from 2011 to 2015. Bounced around as a special teams coordinator from 2016 all the way up to 2023 for Maryland, Rice, Memphis, most recently South Carolina, and then Buffalo. I do remember he had to replace Maurice Linguist pretty late in the head coaching cycle because Linguist went to take a defensive coordinator job somewhere. I forget where.
Maurice Linguist is the defensive backs coach at Alabama now.
Defensive backs coach, yeah. Very interesting career move, but
I think he coached Shane Gillis, the comedian, at Elon.
When would Shane Gillis have been there again?
Like 2007.
Yeah, that's that.
I mean, he was the head coach in 2007. So maybe they were good that year. They were ranked number 23 in the nation. Elon, of course, right outside beautiful Burlington, North Carolina. The locals love Elon University.
The only reason I remember Buffalo, the Mo Linguist with Buffalo, is because he had their best recruiting class ever in 2020, I think. And I looked that up because I was trying to break it in the video game, which I did. The Bulls have a top 60 recruiting class coming in 2025 virtually.
Well done, Jack.
Yeah, that's about the only good thing I can do on that game. All right, well, Kenny still looks that up, Payton. I want to do score and a player to watch. And we'll do for this case, not a player that maybe will change the game, but a player that coming off of this game would be very happy if they had a good game. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, give me one of those.
So the spread's like Mizzou by 39 last I saw. So I'll go ahead and say Mizzou covers again. I'll say Mizzou wins this game 52-10. I'll say Buffalo is able to reach double digits late. A player I'd really like to see have a good follow-up game. Maybe I might go Toriano Pride because or maybe one of the linebackers. I'll go Khalil Jacobs because he really stood out to me. I mean, he was flying all over the field in game one. Definitely the linebacker unit as a whole looked good, but he impressed me in particular. So I think I'd like to see if Khalil Jacobs can have another strong game.
All right. Kenny, do you want me to go or you're still Googling? Or are you?
You go ahead.
All right. So in this game, or in the video game, I played Mizzou very close. The final score was 16-0, what would your thoughts be if that happened in real life, first of all?
Big issues on the offensive side of the ball. Brady Cook probably looked even worse than he did in week one.
And Blake Craig missed an extra point. I don't think they went for two twice.
I don't remember.
Or they kicked 3 field goals.
Yeah, I think it was something like that. Yeah, 16-0. So I'm not going to pick that. I was thinking of doubling it, which is, what is that? 32-0?
Yes.
So I'll double it and add 10. I will go 42-6. Mizzou.
That's a good one. I'm thinking that Buffalo does score. Let's go. Buffalo sneaks out a touchdown. Let's go 7-42. Very close to yours, Jack.
All right.
Price is right at
Nice over under.
One up.
Yep.
Did you write
Write those down.
I don't know if you guys have seen, but we have a new spreadsheet.
A spreadsheet. Yeah. I don't know if you. Oh, you were good. Okay, I didn't know if you were.
There it is. All right. What were the predictions? Jack was 42 to
42 to 6.
It's 42 to 7 again. Back to back.
Kenny,
weeks.
I did look at this. So you I think won week 1, right? Or Payton won week 1. No, you won week
so
1. Okay.
the margin was 51. I was
I think
8
Kenny
points
won week 1.
off.
Or Payton
Kenny
won
was
week 1, maybe.
Kenny was 16 and you were 66. It was 15. So yeah, I was closest.
Payton won week 1 because he was the closest.
What's your number, Payton? Your score
I said
prediction?
52 to 10.
Okay.
All right, we got him locked in. Do you want to put a green around Payton's first one to indicate that he won? We'll keep track. The loser has to spend 24 hours in a Waffle House.
Nope, not doing that.
Kenny, give me a player on Mizzou that you would like to see have a good game, because we won't do like a game changer just because there shouldn't need to be one. But
Brett LeBlanc. I'd like to see that. Oh, that is something I needed to talk about. I got an email back from.
I got
an email.
The Manley Award.
Yeah, I got an email back. Where is it? This is not good. We're looking at our email right now.
Email from the Manley people.
I thought I saved it, but I guess it's gone.
Fully putting our company's email on our YouTube.
Wow. It says in more than 30 days. It hasn't been more than 30 days.
You lost our Manley email?
Are you sure it was this email?
There it is. Good to hear from you. Here's my message. I said, hello, this is Kenny Van Dorn, a former beat writer for Mizzou football. I now talk about the program for the Believe Network on the Unwritten Rule. As a long snapper, appreciator, and admirer of the position, I wanted to reach out to see what the qualifications are to vote for the Patrick Manley Award. Thank you, and I hope everyone is well. They didn't really answer me the correct way. I wanted to vote. That was I didn't care what went into the award. But Chris Rubio replied, wait, I don't know if I could say that. Good to hear from you. We evaluate the long snapper based on the following: mentality, speed, accuracy, consistency, athleticism, spiral, size, and blocking. Hope that helps. Fall camps are up. Should we?
Fall camps are up.
Should we go? This? Ooh, $375.
Should we go? That's at a middle school.
It's in Seattle.
Youth camp. I don't think this is a.
There might be other ones. There's in Nashville, Atlanta, Los Angeles, Dallas for Payton.
They didn't even tell you. They just told you what makes a good long snapper.
Yeah, I asked, could I vote? And
all right.
I don't think he read it right. I think he was asking, like you said, like what are the requaliments,
qualifications?
Yeah,
but he thought you were like,
oh,
I just wanted to come off as like a way, like those very smart. But I should have just said, "Yo, could I vote?" And I didn't get that.
Can I vote? So, what if we do this? What if, Kenny, you track them yourself for the whole season? You don't have to like formalize it or anything, but you just keep track in your own head, and you give like a top 3, maybe a top 5, like toward the end of the season when they release theirs, and you see how close it is. See if you're a better evaluator of long snaps than the people who vote on it, and then you can pick a winner.
Okay,
so
I'll do that.
Just pay attention.
The Kenny Van Dorn long snapping award. Our good friend Max Chadwick did hit me up, and he said if you do find like a way to vote, let me know, because he also wanted to vote.
Okay.
So there are other people interested. Maybe we'll make an award. Max and I will.
Stay tuned. Max News on Quick Hits too. Do you have a serious one besides Brett LeBlanc for the player to watch?
I mean, this might be another opportunity for a running back to stand up or step up. I know you guys talked about it in the recap with Kawan Lacey, and Tavoris Jones didn't really look like he was offering too much at the position, which is kind of a downer for me because I was kind of leaning on him as someone to look forward to next year. But just another opportunity to see if there's some snaps for those running backs, because as you get deeper into the season, into SEC play, you're probably going to run with your 2 vets.
All right. So which running back?
Yeah, I guess Kawan Lacey. We'll go Kawan Lacey.
All right. I'm going to pick Marquise Gracial. I thought we saw a good game from Chris McClellan. I think Payton made a good point after that where, we were kind of like, Marquise Graciel seemed like he took that one spot. Then Chris McClellan goes to gets a sack, kind of shows off the depth. I would like to see Marquise Graciel, a game from him that, kind of affirms, hey, this guy's really good. He deserves to be ahead of Chris McClellan. Not saying he doesn't, but I think it would kind of highlight the depth at that D tackle spot if he has a really good game. Just, maybe he gets a sack to keep that death row defense kind of churning, because Chris McClellan had a sack in the first one. All right. I think that's all I have for Buffalo. Oh, my one other thing. Did you guys see Drinkwitz, the clip of him analyzing how Toriano Pry got the pick? He gave a lot of credit to Zion Young blitzing off the edge. It's a good clip. I would just go look it up. It was just Drinkwitz.
I did see Johnny Walker, apparently there was something Murray State was doing that would tell him whether it was a run or a pass.
Yeah, so Johnny Walker knew that and then relayed that to Zion Young, and then Zion Young was able to do a pass rush blitz. So I guess it was more Johnny Walker, but both those DNs basically wreaked havoc to cause that pick, which was impressive.
Good stuff from week 1.
Yeah, I liked what I saw. All right, there you go. We're predicting blowouts again for the Bulls against the Missouri Tigers. Please do not repeat the result I had in the game, because that would be concerning. So we'll watch that. That is on, what is it, SEC Network? SEC Network, 6 p.m. ESPN SEC Network Plus and ESPN Plus. We're already in that point of the season, I guess. These kinds of games don't exactly get on the mainstream. Mizzou is 38.5 point favorites. So over under 51.5. Keep an eye on that. Mizzou cashed the over at the last minute last time. So if you're a betting man, there's your spreads. All right, we will finish the show with quick hits. All right, we'll finish the show with quick hits. We've got jerseys of the week up first. Then we'll go to our birds. Then we got the best things we learned. But we jerseys first. Kenny, what's your jersey of the week?
My jersey of the week goes to former Mizzou guard Sara-Rose Smith. Kind of a fun story here. I mentioned it that I talked to some students at the Colorado Buffalo Journalism School, or Colorado Journalism School, and I got a question when I was talking to the students, and Sara-Rose Smith came on the screen, and she had her Mizzou shirt on, just coincidentally, and she was just asking me, she's like, "Oh, have you ever covered a basketball game, women's basketball?" And I was like, "No, I was just more of a fan going to those games." And I was like, man, her name sounds so familiar. And she had she had an Australian accent. She probably was an athlete there if she's now at a new school. And then I clicked at the end that it was Sara-Rose Smith that I was talking to. It's a very cool moment there. She is now playing basketball for the Lady Buffs. And another thing is that after she asked me those questions, she asked me to rank 3 Mizzou bars. She gave me My House, Willie's, and Harpo's.
Oh.
I went Harpo's 1, Willie's 2, My House 3, and then I gave her my 3 favorites because they weren't included in that, and I said Social Room, The Understudy, and B12, and that was a good conversation we had. No one else understood it except us. It's like we were speaking a different language.
That is funny that just Colorado kids had to listen to that, and they were like, "Where the fuck are these?"
What are they talking about?
Yeah,
this guy went to school with Drew Lock.
Yeah, you got a couple went to school with Drew Locks. That's unfortunate. I did not know Sara-Rose Smith was still playing.
I did not know she was still playing either. I did know that she actually went to Colorado because I covered the beat in her last season at Mizzou. She was always she had a lot of potential. She's a taller guard. Pinchton always always raved about her. But just kind of inconsistent. She was very good she was a very good boarding guard. She could grab the boards because of her size, but very just kind of up and down offensively. Found a new home at Colorado. Looks like she came off the bench exclusively there. That's a pretty good role for her. So that's cool. Fun little small world moment for you, Kenny. And yeah, look, didn't know she was still able to play, but good for her.
Yeah, shout out. Kenny, I agree. I think I agree with your bar rankings. I'd flip Social Room in the understudy. But
I didn't really have those in a specific order.
Oh, okay.
I also said when she said, because I needed a reminder what the third one was, and she said My House, and I was like, oh man, if you're gonna throw My House in there, that means you might have liked it. So that's why I apologized before I ranked it third.
We're not My House supporters on this podcast. Let the record show. All right, Payton, your jerseys of the week.
My jersey of the week is going to be what Missouri is wearing against Buffalo on Saturday. Their week 2 threads. They are going to be wearing, it's a whiteout this weekend in the crowd, and they will be sporting the white helmets with the oval tiger. Damn dogs, shut up. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but black jersey and white pants. So that's what they're doing. They went to Connor's Cave. What do you call it again, Kenny? What's the actual spot called?
Devil's Icebox.
Devil's Icebox. That's what it is. Yeah. So Caleb and Andrew, friend of the show, had a very good tweet about it. Okay, they went to.
You got to talk through it, Payton. Kenny got really good at this.
Hard. I don't know how you do it, Kenny. They went to film with a horse for the first uni reveal. They went to the Devil's Icebox for the second one. And does anyone have any guesses for the third one? Kenny said social room. I forget if Callum gave a guess.
Somewhere with the Tiger Hotel, either in the back or out, or like in the Tiger Hotel. They're gonna do something with that.
That's a good one.
Payton yelled at his dogs.
I could see them like starting the film like in the bathtub, and you could just like see like the socks of the uniform like over the bathtub and like the curtain thing, and then it just kind of like keeps flashing parts of the uniform in different parts of the hotel, and then you get to the top, and maybe they do like a drone shot of like the player on top of it
sitting there.
Yeah, with the big logo in the background. Callum said the Pinnacles.
Oh, Pinnacles.
Oh, I like the Pinnacles. Yeah, that's a good one. They already went kind of nature-y is the only thing. So
I think they'll do the truck stop golf course, mini golf course.
I think Andy's. They'll do one at Andy's.
Also, definitely like this uniform set much more than last week. I think the white helmets are so clean. I like the white pants. I don't know. Something about like white, black doesn't appeal to me as much as white, black, white. So
I don't like as much white at home. I just feel like when you can use the white on the.
I just think white looks really good on Mizzou. So I'm gonna support this one.
Did you guys see that Florida had a whiteout for their first game of the season and wore blue? Like the stadium was a whiteout and they wore blue uniforms, so Miami wore all white.
West Kentucky is having a similar situation. They're trying to do their like annual whiteout game, but Eastern Kentucky, who they're trying to do it against, trolled them and did not agree to let them wear white. So now Western Kentucky has to wear red to their whiteout game.
I love it.
Was it who did Arkansas play last week? They got flagged.
Arkansas Pine Bluff. They got flagged because they had the
wrong color uniform.
Arkansas politely declined, luckily.
Yeah. Out of respect.
Yeah.
Nice, Payton. I will enjoy these uniform reveals. They're always fun.
Sorry for the horrible delivery of the news. I think my dogs are a little upset.
It's all right. They don't like the white helmets. They're script. They're tigers. They're script tigers dogs. That's their favorite.
Drinkwitz called it a fad before the season, so I don't know how often we're going to see them.
Tough. All right, my jersey of the week, staying on the Mizzou football front, is Connor Tollison, Mizzou's center. He was the highest graded center so far. He is the highest graded center of the season so far through one game, 84.1. Shout out Connor Tollison. Much improved last year. Looked good in week 1. That's all I got.
Connor Tollison, highest graded center, and Mitchell Walters getting shout outs on SEC Network. Who would have ever thought this back in 2022?
Payton's favorite player.
Yep.
Armand Membu also got a shout out.
Yes. Cole Kubalik, however you say it, Kubalik. He's a big O-line guy. He went on SEC Network, gave praise to both Membu and Walters.
Noted.
All right, next. No capping. He's the main bird.
It's our Sean East main bird of the week. I went and rewatched the clip the other day of him in the, I think it was the schedule review when he points to the hoop and just goes, "What's that right there?" Makes me laugh every time. I miss Sean East so much. What's your main bird of the week, Kenny?
My member of the week goes to PFF. The connection is that Neil Hornsby, the founder of PFF and ex CEO of the company, went to the Liverpool John Moores University, which has 3 birds on its crest. Actually, 6, if you count these 3. That was my
birds.
connection. But no,
connection.
PFF signed a strategic partnership with PFF to distribute all their podcasts. So we are now in conjunction with our good friend Max Chadwick.
Yeah,
co-hosts.
Means he has to start taking our calls again. That's why he hasn't been on. He's
been big timing us.
After last. Yeah, he's big time.
I don't think that's true, guys.
Got on Feinbaum as Max Chadwick.
I think it's irresponsible to say such a thing.
Do you think he's ducking us because he knows we're going to ask about the Chadwick thing? The Feinbaum thing?
Yeah, the typo.
The Feinbaum mishap?
Yeah. Is it a mishap?
Look at the profile photo.
I think that's how you spell it.
Yeah. Pronounced different. We love Max. Yeah, this is cool. So yeah, we're also starting to use PFF stats just because. Why not? Yeah, rough beat for Max. Yeah, we love PFF. I like using their stats. It is very helpful. Yeah. All right, Payton.
My main bird is going to be Brent Pry of the Virginia Tech Hokies. Came into the year a sleeper, like in the ACC. They had a little bit of buzz around them. Like people really liked this Virginia Tech team. They went out and laid an absolute egg, for lack of a better term, against Vanderbilt. Lost to them in overtime. And Brent Pry, like I know what he's saying here. He does this with every week, but the optics are so bad. After losing to Vandy, he tweeted, "On to Marshall, 1-0 with the Game 2 graphic against Marshall." Sometimes, coach, put the phone down, man. Like, even if, for one, like, there's no guarantee he didn't schedule this tweet beforehand and just assumed they'd be 1-0 after beating Vanderbilt. That's not what happened, I'm sure, but it's just bad optics. He was getting flamed for it in the replies. I mean, he got a healthy amount of quote tweets.
That one reply just says, "This is sad."
Yeah. So tough one for Brent Pry, but yeah, he's my main bird for being able to tweet this and with a straight face.
It was a tough one for Brent Pry, Kenny, but it was an absolute banner day for our boy Diego "I piss on your field" Pavia, who got a win with Vandy and then said, "I am not the Walmart Trace McSorley," because someone apparently called him that, which is a really good roast, but don't disrespect Diego Pavia that way.
It's not even that bad of a roast. I mean, Trace McSorley was a good quarterback in college.
That's true.
I think he wants to be better than Trace, and respect to him. The one thing, if he did schedule this, it was at 6:59 Central Time, 5:59 where Virginia Tech is. We got an early riser in Brent Pry.
Hey, yeah, he's got to get up and grind. 1-0, Kenny, come on.
I think that was on Labor Day too.
Yeah, the grind. The work doesn't stop for Brent Pry.
That was Labor Day. He's
got to scout out whoever Marshall's quarterback is. All right, my main bird of the week. I'm giving it to the Baltimore Ravens. For context to those watching on the YouTube, the photo is of a comedian named Stavros. I just thought it was funny. He's a funny comedian. He's holding a gun in the photo, which is crazy. He's also a Ravens fan. I just wanted to do this one because it's game day. We're recording this on Thursday. The NFL is back. So that's exciting. And the Ravens play the Chiefs. So I picked the Ravens because they're the birds. And I thought I would throw out, do you guys have any big football takes for the season that you'd like to put on record?
The Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. That's my hot take.
Wow. Thanks.
That's a good one. Hot take. I don't really know that I have like any scorching hot takes. Like if I was to make picks, I would be rather vanilla right now. You can give yours.
Jets Super Bowl. Not winning. They're going to go to it and lose.
Yeah, that's a terrible one.
My hot take of the season.
Hot for a reason.
I'm big on the Jets this year.
I can't I think the entire NFC East stinks. I'm like kind of hot on the Rams winning the NFC West, but maybe not anymore because
NFC West is going to be a crazy division, I think.
San Francisco got all their holdouts figured out. The NFC West is a joke.
You know, a lot of teams like in the West. I've been looking at a lot of like those random polls that The Athletic do, where they survey like coaches and say like who's going to win the Super Bowl, who's going to be the surprise team, and all that stuff. for the surprise team, everyone says the Cardinals, and I think it's because they drafted Darius Robinson. But people love the Cardinals,
bringing that Cotton Bowl culture to the desert.
People love the Cardinals. I don't know. No, I don't think the Jets are going to go to the Super Bowl, but I do like them. I think they're going to win the division. I think Aaron Rodgers could be a bang average quarterback, and that team's still going to be really good. Because I think
if I had to give one hot take, and it's not even super hot because I'm saying, elite quarterback will win MVP. Like, if the Bills are an 11-win team, I think that probably is good enough to get Josh Allen an MVP because that team is bad around him.
Let's do a quick prediction for each of your teams, mostly because I want to ask Payton, where are you on the Bears right now? Because I feel like every Bears fan I ask is just the
9-8. Caleb Williams looks
optimistic.
Good.
Rookie of the year?
Yeah, I'll say so. I'll say he wins Rookie of the Year.
All right, Kenny, you got Texans take?
I'm definitely afraid of regression, especially just after such a good year for CJ Stroud, and I'm even making the jokes that he was doing a lot in the media and getting a lot of attention this offseason, and that doesn't necessarily correlate to the field. But I've just been terrified to myself. I sometimes can't sleep at night. Let's go 11-6.
Okay, win the division.
Yes.
All right.
We'll
I like that take. I think you're going to get the benefit, even if they do regress a little bit, that the AFC South is just kind of bad. I don't think it's very good. Seahawks, I have 10 wins, 10-7 playoffs. I think Mike McDonald brings a new energy and is he bests Harbaugh for the new coach that everyone gets really excited about. That's my optimistic take. I like 10 wins. I like 10 wins for them. Ken Walker too, going to be a top 5 back in the league. He's a dog.
No.
How many weeks until Can Quinn is on a t-shirt?
Oh, I don't know.
Where is he now?
He's Washington's coach.
That's right. Jaden Daniels. People like Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I think he could win Rookie of the Year if they're half decent.
Yeah. We'll see. Maybe not till next year, Kenny. I think it'll be a while for Can Quinn. Sounds like.
Yeah.
I don't know. We need a new Can this year. We'll find someone. Maybe Dan Campbell. It might be Dan Campbell. If
he was Can Campbell.
Yeah, but then we went to Quinn. We might go back to Campbell. He might
of the
year.
Back. We'll do that.
Does this mean we're bringing back the fraud rankings?
Oh, do we want to?
Yeah, we'll see.
I kind of want
to.
I didn't want to that much, but now I kind of want to because it was fun.
Yeah.
I want to go all in and make more of the songs. The songs were good. Put in the comments if you're an OG Unwritten Rule listener from last year. If you want the fraud rankings back.
That's not even OG, man.
Yeah, I know. That's why I laughed when I said it, Payton. Best thing you learned. What'd you learn?
Best thing I learned this week. Mizzou's sellout streak is still going on. Thank you, Kansas State. The tweet came in on the morning we're recording this on September 5th, Thursday. Mizzou Buffalo is sold out. The Missouri Tigers will have a full crowd in attendance for the 8th, I believe, straight game. So there you go. And Boston College the week after is already sold out. That'll be 9. And if Vanderbilt sells out, which it probably will, that'll be a full season of sellouts. So the fans have shown up. Good on them. Good for them. And now it's on Drinkwitz & Co. to make sure they can keep them there. I mean, it's truly is this season has quite a bit hanging in the balance. Because I mean, if you go out and deliver while your fans are selling out games like Buffalo and Murray State for you, they're not going to go anywhere, man. They're going to stick around.
Maybe I'm wrong. I think this is 7.
Maybe it is 7, and maybe Boston College is 8. It's 7 or 8. It's 7 or 8.
Podcasting on my end, but I think it's 7 because I remember in the video, the mini movie this past week, I thought the broadcast said 6. Okay, 7 or 8.
You might be right. Range. I'm gonna
we'll figure it out
if I can find it.
Okay.
Kenny.
Best thing I learned this week.
This is an iPhone.
This is a tough one. I haven't told you guys the story yet. On Thursday, I was hanging out with some friends out and about. Took an Uber home, and I left my phone in the car. And I didn't know I left my phone in the car until 10 o'clock the next morning. I woke up and I was like, why isn't it under my pillow? That's where I always keep my phone. Tell me if that's a bad thing. If anyone knows in the comments, it's like, am I going to get radiation if I do that? Let me know.
I've heard, yeah, but like, I don't know.
Interjecting, the Buffalo sellout is 7. Boston
7.
College will be 8.
All right.
Cool. So yeah, I left my my phone in the car. I wasn't really freaking out. I don't really know why. I was like, oh, okay, it's in the car.
Yeah,
the good thing is, I mean, it's an Uber driver. He gets paid if I get that phone back. So I opened up my my girlfriend's phone. She noticed, or my friend's phone, that she noticed that it was like 30 minutes away from where we were, not too far. It was at a hotel, of all places, which was kind of funny. So it was still in the guy's car. We met at a Walmart. He just handed it off to me. Got my phone back.
Give him the money.
But yeah, no, it just auto pays him.
How did you get in contact with the Uber driver?
You can contact any of your previous Uber Lyft drivers,
so I wasn't sure.
And it'll tell them, and they just respond. And he's like, "Hey, found the phone. Meet me here," and we got it.
Very lucky, man. I did not even know this happened to you. That is,
I didn't tell anyone. I mean, I just was like, nah, whatever. I mean, I got it back.
Payton, what would you do if you left your phone in an Uber? Because
I'd have been panicking. There's no chance I would have been able to function without it.
It was cool. I felt so unplugged. I felt like I was in 2006. I don't even think I knew what a phone was.
You were without your phone for what, like 3 hours?
From 3 a.m. until 11 a.m.
Okay, so yeah, I mean like 3 hours when you were actually awake.
When did you wake up and realize you didn't have it?
When I was like getting ready to leave my friend's house for Labor Day weekend, and I was like, oh, it's not under my pillow.
What time was that, you'd say? So you got this all figured out like...
Oh, yeah, I got to figure out in like
it was fast.
minutes.
Oh,
yeah,
wow,
it's like,
nice.
Just message the guy, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll meet you there on the way to the lake, and everything went smoothly.
Wow. Well,
so, yeah, if you leave your phone, don't worry.
This was a good bait and switch, because you pulled this site up like we were about to buy you a new phone live on the show.
No, I'm just showing you that I have the iPhone 15 Pro Max titanium.
Oh, my God. Okay.
It's very heavy.
Because it's made of titanium?
Yes.
All right. Nice. Glad you got back. All right.
Thank you.
Best thing I learned this week. We're going back to week 2 of college football already. This is one of the more college football stories ever. If you hadn't seen, Florida State, of course, ranked 1 spot above Mizzou at number 10. That was proven to be one of the dumbest takes of this century, because the Seminoles are now 0-2 and plummeted out of the top 25 after losses to Georgia Tech and Boston College. Now, if you've been following college football, you've probably seen this. If you haven't been following college football, allow me to enlighten you. A Florida State fan with the Twitter account @321Noel tweeted that if Florida State lost to Boston College over the weekend, their second game, which I think was on last Sunday night, he said if they lost to him, he was going to eat dog poop out of a red Solo cup with a spoon. Put it on the video. Book it! ! Is how he ended the tweet. They lost. He's since deleted everything. He's deleted his Twitter, his Instagram, all of his social media. The college football community is not standing for any of that. People have tracked him down. They found his Snapchat and his phone number and have demanded him to eat the dog poop out of the red Solo cup. People are calling it the dog poop red Solo cup curse on Florida State, that they'll never win again until he does this. This is just the most college football story ever. I love it so much that this happened, and he's just tried to make it go away. And the internet has just decided to fixate on a guy saying that he'd eat dog poop out of a cup if Florida State lost. And that program's a dumpster fire. I love it so much.
I have a take on this situation. You two may not like it. It may make me sound like a grouch, but I kind of don't like tracking down the guy's phone number and everything, personal info, for a rather, like, it's an out there tweet, but it's not like the most obscene tweet ever. I mean, the amount of times I've said, like, if Mizzou doesn't win a basketball/football game, insert XYZ that's like 10 times worse than what this tweet is, then people would be hunting down my phone number as well. So I kind of don't love going after him. Like, make fun of him on Twitter all you want if he ever comes back. Like, just reply like, "Oh, where's the dog poop video?" or whatever. But I kind of wouldn't go after his phone number and try and become a internet Sherlock Holmes over it.
Yeah, it's always good to just separate this second life that he lives on social media from what his real life is. Because if you look at the photo, I think it's an AI generated photo of a guy on a beach smoking a cigar in a Florida State get up. So it's just one of those things where, yeah, it's funny in the moment. Let's move on to week 3. The guy made a really bad mistake by posting that. It is pretty funny that he was that confident in his team after how week 1 went. But shout out Bill O'Brien. That's all I got to say in this.
Yeah, Bill O'Brien with the comeback toward the edge. I can agree with you.
Doesn't matter,
Payton.
Brian.
I can agree with you, Payton. I wasn't full in on the hunting down his phone number and snapping stuff. I thought it was funny how much it caught fire. Like, it's one of those things where it's just a random college football piece of BS, just like catches fire for some reason. Like, that's what I love about college football and college football Twitter. Like, it's just, I feel like only in that is just stuff like this becomes such a big thing on the internet. It obviously has to do with Florida State being just awful to start the year, and this guy just becomes the scapegoat for it. It is a tough look, but yeah, I can yield for sure the not probably tracking down his number. Like, would I have done that to somebody? Definitely not. But it is still funny that everything lives on the internet forever. It's still a good lesson of that.
Look at us. We're good people. Hey, 3-2-1-0. If you ever want to come on our show and you
gotta eat the poop.
Right the ship. No,
gotta
you don't have to. But if you want to, no, but you don't have to. But look at us. We're good people.
That's the other thing about that. Like, Andy Staples was saying he could come do it live on his show. That's how big this got. Van Pelt brought it up. Like, it's just so funny that how a tweet like that just getting that widely circulated. I just think is really good. But also, it's Florida State losing. I don't like Florida State. I don't think either of you two care for Florida State. So
I do. I did BCS National Championship Florida State hat that I wore to every single track meet until my senior year of high school. And the one time I didn't wear it, Jameis Winston and Mike Evans walked past me at the track meet I was at. I think I've told you guys this story before.
Tough.
One of my worst moments of my life, not wearing that hat to the track meet.
Man, tough.
Because Mike Evans is from Galveston, and they were practicing on the off season in Houston.
Eat a W.
Terrible moment.
Dumb. All right, that's
it's
all
up there. It's like a top worst moment of my life.
If Mizzou loses to Buffalo, I'm just kidding.
I'll eat buffalo wings for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
And only buffalo wings.
My favorite one was someone did it for Nebraska, Colorado, and they were like, if Colorado loses, I will get really drunk and eat a bunch of food. Book it. And I was like,
copious
if
amounts of beer.
Mizzou loses to Buffalo, I'll go to Niagara Falls in a bathing suit in December.
Okay.
No, here's one. You get in the barrel and we'll push you down.
No, I'm not going to do the barrel thing. But
all right, we're holding you to that.
Yeah.
If they lose.
Bathing suit. Only a bathing suit. But it could be it could be a one piece. Maybe a full,
Speedo
1920s style
banana hammock.
One piece bathing suit.
Anyways,
joke.
This one comes from our favorite TV series, The Today Show. Guys, this is a good one. Why did the whale blush?
Beluga.
Beluga.
Something with blubber, maybe?
Well, wouldn't you like to know?
Thought another whale was hot.
It saw the ocean's bottom. So it blushed.
I didn't like that one. Al's had better.
Al didn't make this one.
Oh, sorry, Al. Sorry to put that on you. All right, that's it. We will be back Monday to recap the game. We're gonna record that part on Sunday just because it's late. So we'll hold off, but we will be out Monday. We'll have more chance to process our thoughts, and then maybe that'll be the return of fraud rankings. Maybe, no promises, but it might be. It could be. That's what people want to see. All right. Enjoy the game. We'll see you guys on Monday. Bye.